All right. Here we are. We're back. Let's put some things together. We talked a lot. If you guys have watched any of these, all of these, I don't know, some of them, you notice this theme around arrivals, dropping cancels, dropping no-shows, dropping drop-offs, um, the role of your front desk, the leverage they have, their role in sales and retention. So let's talk about how to set this role up for success, right? So these tools and the three tools you need for your front desk team to consistently, and probably the word missing from the title is consistently deliver more arrivals. So you see, Jerry, I got the person, I've got all this stuff put together. Now, how am I going to make sure this occurs over and over and over again? And we know that comes down to systems and processes, but let's go in the weeds a little more about what tools do I need to set this person up for success? And by the way, these three things I'm going to share with you are frequently missing at least two, if not all three. So if we're going to bring in a front desk person, if we're going to put them in charge of sales, if we're going to put them in charge of at least first visit arrival and pay, so the arrive pay, and then the process of setting up the provider for success and increasing the likelihood of an agreed upon plan of care, stay, which would be arrivals downstream, then we want to make sure we got all the pieces together. So let me share with you those three tools. Okay. I'm not sure. I was thinking, is there an order of these? But I don't know. I think we'll give a little explanation for each and you'll figure it out. So the first tool you need is a lead tracker. And it's interesting. Some people do this in different places. Your EMR is not a lead tracker. Your EMR will not function as a lead tracker. Your EMR will function as a people who got scheduled tracker. And a lot of people won't even put scheduled people. They only put arrived in there. So the EMR is not a lead tracker. And a lead tracker can be as simple as a Excel spreadsheet with lines down the left side. So the horizontal lines being numbers. And then on the other side are vertically numbers. And then going horizontally is something like first name, last name, contact, and the source of that lead. Okay. So lead tracker is a place to track the work of the front desk person, right? It doesn't matter whether those leads came in, walked in, called in, they were Facebook leads, they were website leads, they were email inquiries, they came off of Instagram. It doesn't matter. That's a lead. And in order for us to measure success of this front desk role in the role of arrivals, we need to be able to track all the leads because we want to be able to track where the leads come from. Also, did they schedule and did they arrive? And if they didn't arrive, why not? And we need that data for this front desk salesperson to be successful. And as a little caveat and a little side note, that lead tracker feeds back into your marketing system. So your front desk role as a salesperson is helping you to create better marketing. So tool number one is a lead tracker, and it can be as simple as an Excel spreadsheet. Some people use things like Go High Level, but again, you must track all the leads because the people who don't schedule, there's information and value in understanding where they came from, why they didn't schedule. But again, they called you, so you want to, or they emailed you and you want to know how they found you and things like that. So there is value in people who didn't schedule. So we must have all the leads, right? And typically any clinic, right, if you get 100 leads, right, somewhere between 90% to 50% are going to schedule. Cool. We have a lot of data on people who scheduled and then arrived, scheduled and arrived. But what about the 50 who didn't? We need to know that info. Where are they coming from? Are these marketing opportunities, which then again, sets your front desk up for success. Tool number one is the lead tracker. Tool number two is a intake process, a call, sell script. I don't like to call it a script, but we're going to call it here. So tool number two is a intake process. In mine, I have a 5-step intake process, right? So a flow sheet. We could call it a checklist. We could call it a script. Well, no, if we call it a checklist, then it just becomes about the data, right? So forget a checklist. It's got to be a script and or a flow sheet. So tool number one is a structure for how you are going to manage the process of taking a new lead. Hello, my name is Jerry, right? We get that info and they go on the lead tracker, right? But then we need a process for how to move them through that conversation to do what? Increase the likelihood of arrival. And I've shared that 5-step process with a lot of people. It's floating around in a lot of places. And if you want it, just reach out to me and tell me you want the 5-step process and I'll send it to you. But the 5-step process is an outline to have a conversation to increase the likelihood of arrival. So that if we get through the end of that 5-step process and the person schedules, the likelihood of arrival has increased. So tool number 1 is a lead tracker. Tool number 2 is an intake process. And it needs to be a process that anybody sitting at the front desk can do. The lead tracker could be used by anybody. This 5-step process could be used by anybody that you then hire right into this role. So these tools are tools that can be used over and over again. If you have 5 offices, that lead tracker and that tool should be used across all 5 offices. Okay. Tool number 3 you need, and this is the one that's missing everywhere. Tool number 3 you need for a front desk person to be successful with arrivals is you need a system to record your phone calls. You must have a way, right, to evaluate this whole process, right? You guys have heard me preach for years. The first phone call is the make or break. So if you can record the calls, then what I typically do, I use call recordings for training, but I also use call recordings to teach self-evaluation. That's the cool thing about tool number 2 and tool number 3. They are actually excellent tools to get after you train your front desk, after you put the process in place, after they understand what the deliverables are, that they go back and they can use the 5-step intake process as a self-evaluation tool. Because what's important is that they follow the process. And the outcome is the outcome. Because if they follow the process, the outcome is the outcome that should happen, right? Because we focus on the process here. So a tool, whether it's your phone system, whether it's an external service, whatever, to record phone calls so that you could break down new patient calls with your front desk team, but also you could break down cancel and reschedule calls, right? Because this is about arrivals. So the 3 tools you need to put in place in your practice today to increase, right, the likelihood of creating reproducible systems that your front desk team can deliver over and over. The 3 tools you need are, number 1 is a lead tracker. Number 2 is a intake, right, process script system to manage the sales call. Hi, my name's Jerry. I want to get scheduled for physical therapy, right? You need a process, you need an outline, you need a script for that. And then the third thing is call recording capability so that so that you can listen, the team member doing the work can listen and can self-evaluate, and then you can improve. With those 3 tools, right? So you build in the systems, you build in the processes, right? You build in the SOPs, and then you have these 3 tools, and this system just continues to feed into itself to make sure that it is delivering at the highest possible level you can. So your arrival rates are maximized. All right. Appreciate you all. Take all this together, right? Get these 3 things together, right? Get all the other stuff I've given you, get it together and set that front desk up for success. Cheers all.